Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that most of your biggest decisions were never truly yours. The way you think, the risks you take, the money you earn, the dreams you chase, even the limits you believe in, what if all of it was quietly shaped by the people sitting next to you, laughing with you, scrolling beside you, calling themselves your friends? What if your destiny was not written by fate, luck, or talent, but by your circle? This is not motivation. This is not exaggeration. This is a deep, uncomfortable truth rooted in one of the most powerful philosophies ever discussed. Your environment, especially your friends, controls the direction of your life. There is a philosophy echoed across ancient wisdom, modern psychology, and real-world success stories that says a human being is not an isolated thinker. You are a mirror. You absorb beliefs, behaviors, standards, and ambitions from the people closest to you. Ancient philosophers warned about this long before social media, long before psychology became a science. Aristotle believed that virtue and character are formed through habit, and habits are formed in society. Confucius said that if you want to know a man, look at his companions. Even today, neuroscience confirms something shocking. Your brain literally rewires itself based on repeated social interaction. Your friends are not just company, they are programmers. Think about this for a moment. If 5 people around you constantly complain, your mind starts scanning for problems. If 5 people around you dream small, your ambitions begin to shrink. If 5 people around you fear failure, your courage slowly dies. This is not weakness, this is biology. The human brain evolved to survive in groups, not alone. Thousands of years ago, being rejected by the tribe meant death, so your brain learned to adapt, agree, and blend in. That survival mechanism still runs your life today, even though the threats have changed. This philosophy becomes dangerous when you don't choose your circle consciously. Most people don't. They inherit their friends from school, neighborhood, social media, or convenience. Then they wonder why their life feels stuck. You cannot rise in a circle that mocks growth. You cannot think deeply in a circle that worships distraction. You cannot become disciplined in a circle addicted to comfort. Your willpower is not strong enough to fight your environment forever. Eventually, the environment wins. Look closely at how destinies quietly collapse. It rarely happens through one big mistake. It happens through repeated normalization. When your friends normalize laziness, feels acceptable. When they normalize gossip, gossip feels harmless. When they normalize wasting time feels like life. And when someone in that circle tries to grow, tries to think differently, tries to escape, what happens? They are laughed at, called fake, told they've changed. Not because growth is bad, but because growth threatens the identity of the group. This philosophy does not say your friends are evil. It says influence is inevitable. Fire warms you if you control it and burns you if you don't. The same is true for people. Influence works silently. You don't feel it happening. You only see the results years later when you realize your life looks exactly like the average of the people you spent the most time with. There is a famous idea often repeated by successful individuals. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You. This sounds like a quote, but it's actually a warning. Average thinking produces average results. Average conversations produce average dreams. Average courage produces average lives. And the tragedy is that many people never discover their true potential, not because they lacked talent, but because their environment suffocated it before it could breathe. This philosophy explains why changing your life feels so hard. When you try to improve yourself alone, you are fighting not just habits, but identities. Your friends know you as the old version of you. When you change, it forces them to question themselves. Most people don't want that discomfort, so unconsciously they pull you back to who you used to be. They remind you of your past mistakes, they joke about your new goals, they distract you when you try to focus, not out of hatred, but out of fear. Look at history, look at revolutions, movements, innovators. Rarely do they rise alone. They emerge from circles that challenge, sharpen, and elevate one another. Philosophers gathered in schools, artists formed movements, entrepreneurs built networks, even criminals operate in groups. No destiny is built in isolation. The direction depends on the group. This philosophy also reveals why some people escape poverty while others don't, even when they live in the same place. The difference is not intelligence, it is exposure. One person grows up around conversations about opportunity, discipline, and long-term thinking. Another grows up around survival talk, excuses, and short-term pleasure. Both brains adapt perfectly to their environment. Both become exactly what they were trained to be. And here is the most uncomfortable part of this philosophy. Loyalty to the wrong people can ruin your life. Society glorifies staying with friends no matter what, but ancient philosophy never said loyalty should be blind. Stoic thinkers warned against keeping company that corrupts your character. They believed that your moral and mental health depended on association. Staying in a toxic circle is not kindness, it is self-destruction. Ask yourself this honestly. After spending time with your closest friends, do you feel energized or drained? Do you feel inspired or empty? Do you talk about ideas or just people? Do your conversations build the future or kill time? These answers are not small, they are destiny-level signals. This philosophy doesn't demand that you abandon everyone. It demands awareness. It demands that you stop letting proximity decide influence. You don't need more friends. You need better alignment. One disciplined mind in your circle is more powerful than 10 distracted ones. One honest thinker is more valuable than 100 shallow talkers. When you change your circle, something strange happens. Your thoughts shift. Your standards rise. Your excuses feel uncomfortable. You start seeing possibilities you never noticed before, not because you suddenly became smarter, but because your environment changed what felt normal. Growth becomes natural instead of forced. Many people fear being alone, so they stay surrounded by people who limit them. But this philosophy teaches something radical. Temporary loneliness is cheaper than a lifetime of regret. Being alone for a while is not failure. It is transition. It is the space where your real voice becomes audible again. This is why powerful individuals are extremely selective about their company, not because they think they are better, but because they understand influence. They protect their mind the way others protect money. They know that a polluted environment produces polluted outcomes. Your friends control your destiny not by commanding you, but by shaping what you believe is possible. They set the emotional ceiling of your life. If no one around you has ever dreamed big, dreaming big feels unrealistic. If no one around you values discipline, discipline feels extreme. If no one around you respects silence and focus, depth feels boring. And the moment you truly understand this philosophy, you can never unsee it. You begin to observe how people slowly turn into reflections of their circles. You see potential being wasted in the wrong rooms. You see brilliance dimmed by constant noise. You see ambition die through jokes and distractions. But you also see hope, because destiny is not fixed. Circles can be changed. Influence can be redesigned. The same force that once limited you can now elevate you, if you choose wisely. This philosophy is not telling you to hate your past. It is telling you to respect your future. Your future deserves better conversations, better standards, better energy. You owe it an environment that pulls you forward instead of anchoring you down. So before you ask what career to choose, what business to start, or what dream to chase, ask a deeper question. Who am I becoming because of the people around me? Because whether you like it or not, that answer is already shaping your destiny. And if this realization feels uncomfortable, that's good. Discomfort is often the first sign of awakening, because the most dangerous prison in the world is not made of walls. It is made of familiar faces that keep you exactly where you are.